Well, Cole, what did you think of the weigh-in there with Joe Joyce, Tosin Parker?
Very respectful. I wasn't expecting any needle or fireworks. Both guys coming in heavy, the heaviest they've been in their career, which kind of, I think, suggests that they know it's going to be a tough fight, and they know that at some stage they're going to have to stand and fight. We know what Joe Joyce is all about. He's come forward and relentless, and he's happy to take shots. Parker has, good movement, good fast hands, good feet work, and ticks a lot of the boxes. But it's a really hard one to call. I don't know what you're thinking about this, Spence, but it's difficult.
Exactly the same as that. I think it's like, Parker's been known to be a little bit negative before in recent other fights, but I think since teaming up with Andy Lee, he's shown that he likes to stand there a little bit more. Last time against Derek Chisora, he was letting those shots go. And I think that teaming up with Andy Lee's made a big difference with Joe Parker. I think he's always had the boxing ability, and he's always had it there in the locker, but we've not sort of seen it, and it's been a bit frustrating. And I think if he can get in the trenches when he's going to have to at some points, I think he could pull it off. I really do.
I think Andy Lee is going to play a really important role in this fight, and I think we're in a sport where people can be involved in corners who don't really have much experience, and big fights. I'm talking about world title fights, and guys can kind of worm their way in. But Andy Lee is from the old school. He's very, very knowledgeable. He knows this game inside out. He's got wisdom beyond his years. He's been around some of the greats, and Manny Stewart in particular. I think Andy Lee will have an important part to play in this, and he's going to have to give, I think, Joe Parker a kick up the backside at some point. There is going to be a stage in the fight where he's going to have to stand and fight because he can no longer move because this guy's just relentless. But I think he has a huge role to play. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's a weird one, this, isn't it? Because Joe Parker's the 30-year-old, Joe Joyce is the 37-year-old, but it's a coming-of-age fight, really, for Joe Joyce, because he's not boxed at that level. Look through the fights that he's had in his 14-fight career, and you're talking about, like, sort of Carlos Takam, the guys that are sort of not even really fringe contenders, guys just a little bit below. Joe Parker, former world champion, he's boxed, Anthony Joshua, lost a tight split decision to Dillian White, showed that actually he's got the minerals to come through a tragic time or whatever, come through a rough time, and still turn it around. So, Joyce is like, if he loses this fight, I know there's a rematch clause in and they can go again, but really it's a must-win fight for Joyce as opposed to Joe Parker, who's probably still got time on his side.
But I think that although Joyce is 37, doesn't look like there's any signs of him slowing up, and there's not much miles in the clock. But in saying that, he does take a lot of shots. I'm sure his team have been working on that. I'm sure they've been working on that from day one, but he still seems to walk into them at times. But it's got to catch up with you at some point. You can't be taking them your whole career, but this guy, I mean, he's a freak. Like, everything just seems to bounce off his head.
But do you think, though, right, Cole, like now he's stepping up, because this is another step up in level for Joyce. And like you say, go back Christian Hammer's last fight. We were sitting there at ringside, like you was. I see you doing your punditry just in front of us, and you're going like that. You got your hand over, going, how's this guy taking these shots?
I know.
At this level, will it have a different? Could that be different?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's bigger punching heavyweights than Christian Hammer, but some of them, I think he can hit with 4 of the biggest right hands I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and literally no effect. Doesn't even flinch, just continues to march forward. But it's okay being hit by Christian Hammer. Joseph Parker, I suppose he's a big punching, not the biggest punching heavyweight in the world, but he can punch enough to get your respect. And he's faster as well. Sometimes they're the ones, you could be hit by the biggest punchers, but when you're expecting them, you can ride them and they can bounce off your head at times. It's the ones you don't see, and the speed of Joe Parker's punches may be the thing that could make Joe Joyce fall apart. But I don't know. This is all ifs and buts.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Well, listen, let's put you on the spot. You're like me. I think that I've been like this all week. I'm going, does Joyce come through? Does Parker? Who do you think is going to win the fight, and how do you see it being won?
I said draw earlier on.
Yeah, I actually heard that. Yeah,
because someone asked me, and I think it's going to be one of them ones. It could be a draw. It's going to be really close. But if you put a gun to my head, I have a small feeling, because I'm not confident in this, that Parker will do enough to hold on and win a very, very close fight. It's going to be close either way.
Yeah, Cole, brilliant, mate. Thanks so much
for
joining us.
Thanks, Spence. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.